Good evening, Dmitry.
Hello, Liudmyla.
How are you today? How is your bus?
I'm fine. Just came back from training.
So it's nice, and I think we should wait for people. And before this, tell me, have you seen our previous lesson about this topic?
Yes, I've seen it yesterday. It was a very interesting lesson. I like it.
So let me ask you the same question while we are waiting. So, what is the most dangerous thing you have ever done?
The most dangerous thing I ever done? Mm, uh, I don't know. Maybe crossing the road in red.
Inappropriate place.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very dangerous. So, and I see Alexander here.
Hello,
So,
hello.
good evening, Alexander.
Good evening. Good evening. How are you?
We don't hear you. So,
Hello, can you hear me?
yes, now we hear you. So, how are you today?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
And I'm fine, thank you. So, today we are going to continue our discussion. Oh, and I see Kate here.
Maybe
Kate,
not
good
about
evening.
topic.
Kate.
Oh, can
No.
Oh, now we hear you. So, good evening, Kate.
Good evening. How are you?
Oh, I should ask you the first.
Okay.
You.
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
So, have you seen our previous lesson, Kate, according to this topic?
I saw it. Yeah, I watched
And
it.
today we are going to continue discussion, the topic which we stopped discussed yesterday, who is the most influential person in history. But I'd like to wait for some people here. So that's why let me ask you different questions disconnected with it, but also you should answer it. So, what is the most expensive thing you have ever bought? So, Alexander, what about you?
Oh, sorry, I didn't wait that you asked me. Can you repeat the question?
You should tell you didn't expect.
I didn't
So,
expect
what is the most expensive thing you have ever bought?
the most expensive thing. I think it's my car.
Oh, it's good, Dmitry.
It was PC. So simple answer.
And what was your answer?
PC, personal computer.
Oh, also can be useful things. Kate, what about you?
I think it was my car. Yeah.
Oh, also car. And good evening, Michael.
Hello,
How are you today?
I'm okay, thank you. And you?
It's nice. And today we continue discussing our topic, but I'd like to wait for some people here. So we
Have
start. Whoa. So I think we shouldn't wait for anybody else. So Mary and Lee, good evening.
Good evening.
So Mary, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
And I'm fine. And Lee, how are you?
Good evening, guys. I'm fine, thank you.
Lee.
He said
heard
he's
me.
fine.
So maybe I have problems with internet, but I hope that there is everything all right with Lviv. So, as far as I promised you, today we're going to start with questions we tried to discuss yesterday, but we couldn't manage to do it. So, who is the most influential person in history? And in order to make this question easier, I decided to... Oh, I see an echo, yes?
Yeah.
So, 1 second. So, is everything alright now? I hope yes. So, and in order to make this question easier, I decided to divide all influential people into spheres. So, we're going to discuss science, philosophy, politics, literature, music, painting, and filmmaking. So, let's start. So, and also some of these spheres are also subdivided into different levels. So, I decided to divide science into math, physics, and chemistry. So let's start with math. So who is the most influential person in math science? So Alexander, what? No, no. So Kate, what do you think about it?
Math?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not good at math, you know.
But I think that you know some people.
Yeah. The first who I can remember was Einstein. I'm not sure that he was
From math, yes, I also not sure about it. So it seems to me that he's physics.
yeah, about math.
So he doesn't count
I
here.
can't remember anybody. Yeah.
So maybe Mary can remember.
About math in 20th century, I think it's...
We don't take only 20th century. So I think we divided it enough. So let's take all development of the world.
I don't know about math because no, I know about math, but I don't know who is. Of course, I
So
can say
I remember only Descartes. Yes, you know, and who else?
But I don't think that it's really influenced. Yes, of course, it's Descartes, Pythagore, and another Greek scientist, very important for our knowledge for history of math, because without it.
Yeah. We need to skip math and focus on the next scientist. Yeah.
So let's. So if it's difficult for you, let's combine all science and
I know.
Science,
I know about math. I forgot his name. I know about who I want to say. It's last who I know is Russian scientist, but I forgot.
Perelman.
You know who?
Perelman.
Yes, Perelman. Thank you, Michael. It's a really funny story about one scientist.
About math, I'm not sure that it can be something funny in math.
No, it's really funny.
So tell us this
scientist who figure out one really difficult math how to say
theorem.
Not задача. Task, yes. And after that they can get Nobelevsky premium, yes. I don't know how to correct
Nobel Prize, I think.
No, in math people never can get Nobel Prize. It's possible, or in us we have 5 directions for Nobel Prize, but only accept math, because wife of Nobel how to say, betrayed him with mathematics. So in this case, in math, it's impossible to get this premium.
But he was given this prize, yes or no?
Nobelevsky premium. It's another type.
So it's not a Nobel Prize, no?
No, of course not. It's impossible. So
I don't know what Mary speak telling about.
okay.
So you can find
In the internet, yes. So and this man didn't want. It's a really long story about. If you want, you can watch movies a lot about this, but it's really now but it's not. It's very popular because it was.
So for you, this person is the most influential, yes?
But really, it's really popular because not so influence because a lot of people know about him. I don't know about influence.
So, and I'd like to ask Michael, so we combine all science in one group, so without dividing into maths, physics, and chemistry. So, who is the most influential person for you in the whole science?
Okay, in the all science, maybe it's Mendeleev. Mendeleev, yeah. Because
So only because of his creation of this. Yes. So you think that this thing changed?
Not only because he made not only this how to say not a schedule.
I think that tablet also can be, but
Yeah.
I think that Shelby is a bit different thing.
Yeah, it's interesting story about alcohol. Maybe it's influence.
It's interesting story about his daughter, as far as I remember, who became a wife of Alexander Bloch.
I don't know. No.
So you decided about Mendeleev, yes?
Yeah.
So Ulvi, what about you? Who is the most influential person in science?
I just remembered a few names of the scientists who have the influence in science, but I thought that the most influential is a Pythagore in the math. Yeah.
So why not Descartes?
What?
Why not Descartes?
Descartes?
Yes.
Who is it?
Oh, it's difficult to explain. It's this guy. So I'm not very good in mathematical terms, but about you know X and Y. So this thing was invention of Descartes.
In math, I just remembered the name of Pythagore.
So, but in the whole science.
But in the whole science, how to say it, yes, the Mendeleev, one of the most influential ones, who is opened the table of the name of the chemicals, yeah.
Yeah, chemical thing. And do you know about anniversary which we celebrate today?
No.
So have you heard about that today we celebrate anniversary of the date of the birth of one great scientist. So, and Mary mentioned him yesterday. So who is this person?
Galileo?
No. Connected with electricity.
Oh, Tesla.
Who?
Tesla.
Yes, today we're celebrating Tesla's birthday, and as far as I know, there are a lot of I don't know celebration now about his birthday, and especially in social networks, I saw a lot of quotations by Tesla, a lot of his photos, a lot of his I don't know pictures. And what do you think? How? Why he's so popular, and why do people celebrate his anniversary today? And for them, it's so important. So, Alexander, what do you think about it?
I don't know, I don't celebrate it.
Too bad. So it's a reason to, I don't know, to celebrate something. I think it's
Reason to
useful.
drink?
I didn't want to tell it really. To
I would
celebrate.
celebrate Mendeleev's invention. His invention is very funny.
Very funny. Very funny invention. So, and your opinion, Alexander, about who is the most influential person in science?
I don't know, maybe maybe Lomonosov.
Oh, explain your position, please.
I can't explain. I just
You just feel it, yes.
yes, I just proposed.
But I agree with Lomonosov because he is very interesting person. Because
I saw movie Lomonosov. It was interesting.
that's why for you he's the most influential person. So let's give definition. According to Alexander, the most influential person is the person when there is film about this person and this film is interesting. So this person is influential.
You know, Liudmyla, if somebody do after these films do something interesting, it's a kind of influential, yeah.
So maybe. So Dmitry, your opinion, who is the most influential person in science?
I guess we cannot be sure that one of these scientists was the most influential. All these scientists made their discoveries, and these discoveries influenced our world in its own way, and we
So
cannot.
you refuse to choose one, yes?
Because it's not clever, in my opinion. all scientists were influential in some way.
So your opinion, Dila. So can be. So Kate, what about you?
Scientist, yeah?
Yeah, all scientists, and all spheres of science.
Okay, I think the most influential scientist was Fleming, maybe, because he invented antibiotics. Antibiotic penicillin, yeah, and I think it was very important for those days because of war, and it was very helpful for people.
So also good opinion. So as far as I know, these antibiotics helps to prevent pain. Yes? Pain.
Antibiotics kills infections. Yeah.
So, and Mary, I think that I have already asked you, but just about mathematics, yes?
Yes, I talked about Tesla and Fleming yesterday, and I don't know who I can add in all world. It's a lot of. I'm not sure that Mendeleev creates this table because I know different opinion about it. But we have.
You know the joke that at the first this table. So we know the story that Mendeleev saw this table in his dream, but the joke tells us that first of all Pushkin saw this table in his dream, but he didn't understand anything. So that's why this table became a dream of Mendeleev. So, but I think that your answer yesterday was quite full, and yes, you mentioned a lot of great scientists.
I can add Pierre and Marie Curie for scientists because nobody say them. I think it's really a great.
And what did she do? Also tell us, because It seems to me that she's connected with electricity, but I'm not sure because
Yeah, Maria Curie.
no.
It's like anecdote.
Chemistry.
Yes, it's really funny a little bit. Okay, Pierre and Maria Curie discover
This is two persons.
what?
This is two persons.
Two person. Yes, it's husband and wife, and he has daughter, but it's another story because she also Curie. They first they discover Curie. It's one element, yes, and this element has radioactivity. How to say свойства?
Quality.
Radioactive quality. So first they discover radioactive elements. They discover a point of Curie. It's point for metal. In this point, all metal has same condition. Same, and in this point, metal doesn't have magnetic свойства.
Quality.
They make great, how to say вклад?
Impact. No.
What?
Вклад.
I think that impact also can be used.
I don't know. In scientists, and if we don't have this person, we don't have maybe atom energy, and we didn't know about radioactive material anything, because they жертвовать. Sacrifice yourself, because they didn't know about many specific detail about radiation. So, and they after that Pierre Curie died for radiation. So it's really a romantic story. And
story.
But it's really
it's very sad story, man.
Sad story, but it's a really good story, and they do a lot for our world.
Oh, I think that I should leave you, Mary, at the end of the answer in order you to do conclusions to the all previous set. So the next sphere of science is philosophy. So Michael, who is the most influential philosopher for you?
Influential. Hard to say. I like Nietzsche.
So I told yesterday that for me he was really influential philosopher.
But maybe most influential it's like maybe Platon, because.
Do you use Platon's ideas in your everyday routine?
But it's not about only me, but in general, yeah. Because you know, every person who are persons who are philosopher, yeah, need to understand the previous people, previous philosopher, yeah, and I think it's impossible to maybe read all the books, but they focus on the main, like Platon and something like that.
That really Platon can be, because he is from gold age of mankind, and I think that these guys created everything, and other philosophers and other people just developed their opinions and some points of view and made their own, but the basic was for them, I guess. So Levi.
I don't know, Liudmyla, why you divide all this science in separate rows, because
it's not No, it's not a kind of science. We forgot about science. So it's just spheres where can be influential people. So science, philosophy, politics, literature, music, painting. So because yesterday we had a lot of problems with it because it's impossible to compare, I don't know, musical impact in person's life and science. So I think there is an idea to divide them in order to be good to compare. And
so in philosophy, yeah. I studied philosophy in university, but to be honest, I didn't understand anything in this in philosophy. But I just remember the name of Aristotle.
So if you remember, it means that yes. So
too hard to understand what they want to say.
Oh, I think it's impossible to live without philosophy, but it's just my point of view. So, Alexander, your opinion. Who is the most influential philosopher?
Me. It's joke.
We believed you.
So I wanted to ask about your philosophical system, and you told that you was joking.
No, I think nobody is influential philosopher because nobody influenced me.
So you speak only about yourself, yes, Alexander? But
yes.
about mankind.
Yes.
About all people.
All people?
Yes. So let's just answer. Whom from philosophers do you remember?
Who I remember? Oh, I don't remember. I remember my teacher in university.
I think it doesn't count.
who every time when he spoke, he turned to the blackboard and we can't hear anything. he spoke very,
so
very quiet.
good.
Very quiet. Yes.
Oh,
it was so
did
boring.
you like him?
No.
I think he was your favorite really teacher.
No. Another teacher I'm not favorite.
So he didn't help you to fall in love with philosophy, yes?
Yes.
Unfortunately. So Dmitry?
The same answer like about scientists, but in the other way, it can be Aristotle because because so many years passed, but people use today his ideas about forms of governments, about democracy, about states, how it should be.
And Dmitry, who is your favorite philosopher? If you don't take the most influential, but your favorite.
My favorite? I don't know how to say his name in English. Maybe it's Cicero.
Maybe. So do you like his quotations?
I like his ideas about friendship.
Oh. So it's the reason to be the favorite philosopher, really. So Kate, what about you? Who is for you the most influential philosopher?
I'm not sure about influential, but my favorite philosopher is Sigmund Freud. I'm not sure that he's philosopher.
He's philosopher.
Yeah.
He's psychology and philosopher.
Psychologist. Yeah. I read some of his works and I agree with some of that. He's very special, you know, his point of view. Yeah.
We discussed him yesterday, and I also tried to prove his opinion, but Mary started to criticize me, so I decided to give up.
Okay.
So, and can you, so if you read him, so can you describe his, do you know his point of view to personality? So, you know, over I and it. So, who is it? So, because I tried to explain Mary, but Mary didn't agree with me, so judge us.
Oh, it's very difficult, you know, because it is your, you know, inside, it's something inside you, you know.
Is it influence, or does it influence only on sexual activity or something else?
I think it influence on sexual activity, but because of that, because of this sexual activity, it can influence on another sphere of your life, you know, because I don't know how to explain it.
It seems to me that Kate, Mary, and I read different books, really.
Okay, maybe.
So, and Mary, about you. Your favorite philosopher or the most influential?
I know, most influential philosophy it's Kant, Platon, Aristotle, Socrates, Schopenhauer, Hegel, Nietzsche, Goethe, a lot of. But my favorite,
Not the most.
what?
And I'm not sure that Goethe is a philosopher.
You
Or
okay?
maybe, am I mistaken?
Goethe was writer.
But
Yeah.
you can. I'm not sure. Okay, I will check it. But my favorite, I don't know. I think it's. I don't know who my favorite. Maybe Schopenhauer. But it's not humanity philosophy. It's like pessimistic philosophy, like Nietzsche. But with Nietzsche and Schopenhauer, I prefer Schopenhauer. I think.
So yes, it's interesting. I also read about him, and his idea now is recreated, and nowadays philosophers try to show them in some funny way, and it really happens very funny. So the next sphere we discuss is politics. So, Alexander. So the most influential politic.
The most influential.
Again, Lenin.
Sorry, who?
Lenin.
Putin.
No, what about Lenin?
So no answer, please. Who is the most influential politic for you?
Political.
Yeah.
We spoke about this yesterday.
So and I try. Maybe you changed your mind because you have one day to maybe to change your opinion.
I can't change.
The real communist not change it their mind.
So you decided to what?
Why should I change?
So Lenin is with you forever. Yes, I've got your opinion. So Ulvi, did you change your opinion about Hitler?
No, I also stay in my opinion. I will not
So Dmitry?
You know, a reader of the American magazine Time said that the most influential politics are Putin. I don't know.
Was, because sequences of times.
It was on 14th April 2015. No, this year. No, I don't know. Maybe they are right, but I don't like politics and politicians. That's why I don't know. Maybe they are right. Maybe the most influential is Putin.
So I will not give any comments about this answer. So, Kate, what about you?
Okay, I think I agree with Dmitry. I think now is the most influential politic is Putin, no matter what, you know.
But in the past?
In the past?
Yeah.
It's difficult to say because in the history of our country there were a lot of influential politics, and I just can't choose one.
But if we take all history and all countries,
oh, it's even more difficult, you know. I don't know a lot about history of world, you know.
So for you it's difficult to choose.
Yeah, it's difficult for me.
So Mary?
Piotr I.
What?
What about the Piotr I?
In 20th century?
No, we say in the Russian in Russia for all times. It's hard to imagine somebody else. Maybe we haven't. Yeah.
Whom do you answer, Michael?
It's a question for Kate.
Kate.
I didn't hear it. I couldn't.
I just say maybe the most influential is Piotr I, because
the first, Peter the First.
Yeah. You think that Peter the First was more influential, yeah? In our history? Yes, he was one of the great politics in history, but there were another also great politics like Catherine II. Yeah, the second.
The second.
Yeah, and you know, another. You know, there was a lot of politics. There were.
So even if we start from the Kiev Rus, Olga.
Let's start with it with Rurik, you know.
Let's mention everyone, yes. So, Mary, did you change your opinion about Stalin as far as I remember?
I don't think that it's most influential person.
Influential.
For me, in 20th century, yes, because
but you can take all history of each country.
But it's not people.
So let's take.
First of all, I agree with Piotr I because it's really good example.
Peter the First, Mary. What does it mean, Piotr I?
Because Piotr First. Yes.
I think the names are not translated.
The numbers are translated, Michael.
No. He is the most important person for Russia because he create a lot of, like St. Petersburg. It's really good contribution. Yes.
Yes.
Contribution in Russia. And
window to Europe. Yes, as far as I remember, he's.
For 20th century, I think it's Lenin, Stalin, Hitler, Mussolini, Gandhi, Martin Luther King. I think it's Roosevelt, Churchill, and a lot of persons, not only 3 persons.
Not only one person, as someone mentioned, yes.
And all of them really important and influence person.
influential, yes, can
Mary
be.
just proved my opinion that we cannot be sure that one of the politicians or scientists.
Dmitry, you agreed to one person, so don't try to change your opinion. We remember everything. So, Michael, did you change your opinion?
No, but I add.
You're with Alexander and with Lenin, yes, as far as I remember.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Yeah.
can be its opinion also. So the next sphere is literature. So who is the most influential person? So let's not to take all literature first of all. Just let's speak only about your country first of all. So we live in different countries, and I think each country has the most influential writers. Yes. So let's start first of all with native countries. So Ulvi, who is the most influential person in... I will not be able to pronounce the name of your country, unfortunately. I tried for 3 days, but...
Talk about famous, because influential, it's very hard.
So, influential or famous. So, let's take both these terms. So, who is the most famous writer or person in literature in your country?
Yes, in my country, the most famous person, I think that you don't know him. His name is Mirza Alekar Sabir. He is also was born in the city in which I was born. And he's really very famous in Azerbaijan. He wrote a lot of stikhatlarin.
Verses.
Yes, a lot of verses. And now even in the university, the pedagogues use these verses too.
So really famous person. Unfortunately, I haven't heard about him. But I'm sure that you didn't hear about our poets and writers. So Alexander, who is the most influential person in Russia, in Russian literature?
Romanov.
Influential.
Or the most famous?
Who's the most famous? I think the most famous is Pushkin. Yes.
I remember the way you tried to describe Pushkin when we play game Crocodile, yes? When you don't want to do something, you tell that this person should do it, yes?
Maybe
Everything that you could remember about him.
Maybe it's the reason why Pushkin is so famous.
That he's used in jokes. So, Dmitry, what about... I don't know how to identify your country. So, is Ukrainian or Russian? So,
of course, Russia.
I'm keeping silence, really.
In fact, the same answer, like Alexander said, that it's Pushkin, but I also can say that it can be Dostoevsky, because even Europeans read like his books, and Dostoevsky is famous, is very famous in Europe and in USA, and they say that many Europeans or Americans say that Dostoevsky is their favorite writer, Russian writer.
So, Kate?
It's obviously Pushkin. And I agree with Dmitry that Dostoevsky is also very famous, not only in Russia. And also I would like to mention Tolstoy, Lev Tolstoy. He's also...
You know that foreigners pronounce his name as Leo Tolstoy, and it's very funny really to listen. Leo Tolstoy.
Leo Tolstoy. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
So, and anyone else?
No, I think I can't remember anybody else.
So,
I remember the name of Lomonosov in his group.
He's a good guy, really, but he's not so famous, and because he wrote in a bit ancient style, so it's about Queen, about I don't know, and it's not very interesting to read, and it doesn't have some emotional impact on you. So he's famous and he's a good writer, but he's not very popular. Unfortunately, of course, because he made a lot for Russian literature and for Russian language. So, Mary, what about your country?
I think it's Taras Shevchenko because it's like story about slave and about freedom, and Franco, Леся Ukrainka, and maybe Barka, and Kotyabinski, Kotlяревский, but I really hate Ukrainian literature. I don't know why. Because it's always...
Is there any person here who likes English, who likes Russian, no, Ukrainian literature?
No.
No, unfortunately.
No, I like maybe Shevchenko and Лесю Українку, Franco, but another Kotyabinski, Kotlяревский, I don't like them.
So. And Michael, what about you?
Hard to say. Maybe maybe Gogol.
Oh,
Ukrainian?
Yeah.
Mary, Michael tells truth because he's our.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's Russian empire. It's
No,
not
no.
He was born in Ukraine and he lived in
When Gogol burned, Ukraine doesn't exist. But Shevchenko really too. Okay.
I don't like Gogol at all, but in general I agree that he's extremely Ukrainian writer.
But he is the how to say the most famous stylist or stylist in the literature. It's you can read the lecture of Nabokov about the Gogol, and he is right about it. If it's like authority for you.
At the beginning, I'd like to start to read several books of Nabokov, and then
he is the same. He is good in style, how they write. It's really interesting because I say Gogol. For Nabokov, it's maybe the best how to say writer. Yeah.
So for you, Nabokov is the best writer, yes?
No, I talk about the style. It's Gogol and Nabokov.
Yes, I got your opinion. And now let's speak about whole literature. Yes, whole world literature. So, Kate, for you, who is the most influential person in the whole literature, or your favorite?
God. I don't know. In whole literature, I don't really read so much. I don't know. Let's see. Now I read Mark Twain in original, of course. I read.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm reading the Prince and the Pauper, you know. But I don't really know very famous people in world literature.
So, but world literature associates in your mind with whom? So just don't think, just literature and the first person, the first association.
I don't have any really.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So maybe Mary can tell us something.
Okay. For me, it's Dante, Shakespeare, Lomonosov. For Russian, maybe Byron. I think that's all.
So you are not a modern person, yes? So
But
you like classic.
We talk about influence person, yes.
And about favorite?
I don't know. My favorite, I don't know who my favorite. It's really difficult for me identify only one.
So identify only 3?
I don't know, really, because all time they change.
So, but really, I agree with this difficult question. So, Michael?
I think it's the same. If you talk about the literature for pleasure, yeah, like.
So let's start with influential and end with favorite.
As I say, for me, it's the same. But you know, when I read the books, I'm not really focused on the some, I don't know, some kind of story. For me, it's interesting to find interesting moments and like when we can use in life. So because of that, I can choose. You know, we can say Nietzsche is a great writer, but he's like a philosopher in the moment. Yeah.
I think it's impossible to be writer without being philosopher, and being philosopher without being writer. So, but in general, we can identify that Nietzsche is a philosopher, and Byron, for example, is a writer. In general, I don't know how it happens, but I think it's quite clear. So, whom we study in the circle of philosophy and whom we study at the lessons of literature.
You know, it's a wrong idea. We need to focus on own idea and don't read Shevchenko because
so you can't tell the name, yes?
So, what is the question?
So you can tell names of your favorite or the most influential.
It's interesting to read all the books, and it's hard to choose one.
Dmitry?
The most influential writer for me doesn't exist, and my favorite writers are science fiction writers and fantasy writers. For example, brothers Strugatsky, Lukyanenko, Heinlein, Asimov, Железный, and many others.
So, Alexander, what about you? I remember that you don't like to read, but maybe you read something.
As for the most influential, I say again Pushkin. And as for favorite, maybe Mayakovsky.
Oh.
Oh my God.
So now I understand why you don't like to read.
It's really famous and interesting. So,
Mayakovsky?
yeah.
I hate him.
I hate him also, Mary.
And I hate him also.
But I really like Железный, Azimov, Lem. It's cool, but Mayakovsky, it's rough.
Yeah.
But Mary, now you understand why Alexander doesn't like to read, because if you read Mayakovsky, you start to hate all literature.
And Michael read only about business.
So
And Michael reads only about business. Because you like Mayakovsky.
no, it's wrong idea. I think it depends on the person, and if I dislike these names when you say before, which you say before, yeah, it's really the kind of taste. Yeah, for somebody like Mayakovsky and somebody like something else.
When you read last book, fiction book, not fair, I don't know, fiction, yes, not about business.
I read it all time
When?
without any period, without reading.
It's not account answer. I know how to say.
Michael's secret was
Accurate
revealed.
answer.
Yeah, I have a tablet and I read it all time.
Okay,
I
name
can show
name
you.
us one.
No, it's
Okay,
Michael, she will not stop
no.
asking, so it's better to answer.
I know what I talk about, and it's
only one. Call, please. Not about business. So, Michael?
How to do business.
we need.
I need to think, yes.
So let's only answer it. My question, and we will give Michael several minutes to think about his answer for Mary, because Mary will not allow us to stop our lesson while she gets the answer from Michael. So Lvi,
Yeah,
the most influential or your favorite just writer or person in literature?
as the Kate says, I don't like the reading. I even don't remember when the last time I read the book, so I can't imagine.
Can't really.
Yeah, it's too hard for me to say who is the famous or who is my favorite writer.
Unfortunately, when I hear such answers, I just want to tell person that he or she is so poor. And, oh my god, and give some book just. So, and let's at the end of our class discuss music. So, who is the most influential person in music for you? So, Alexander.
Again me. Okay.
So, if you want some time to think about it, I can ask Dmitry, because Dmitry, because I know that Dmitry has answer.
Of course,
and he doesn't need
good
to think
answer.
about it.
Of course, the most influential musicians are members of the group Beatles, because Beatles are famous in the whole world, and everyone everyone likes their song. Or
Really? Everyone likes their song?
no, not everyone, but the most people, I guess.
I don't like. I'm not proud of it really, and it's shame to me. But I don't like their song.
I don't like their songs too, but
but everyone likes. Yes.
Yes, the most people.
So, is it all?
Yes.
Oh, I thought really you would say about 30 Seconds to Mars and about your great love to them. So you impressed me really. So Kate, who is the most influential person in music for you?
If you talk about pop music, I think the Michael Jackson was the most
influential. The noun is influence, yes?
Yeah.
Adjective influential. Nothing difficult.
Yeah, the most influential was Michael Jackson, I think. But also, I think my favorite pop musicians are Josh Michael and Elton John also, I think.
So good answer. Yes, I agree with Michael Jackson. Mary?
Mozart, Beethoven.
So Mary started with the ancient times.
And because we talk about all history and we talk about influence.
Yes, I agree. We speak about all history.
Vivaldi, Wagner, but for our time it's Beatles, Ozzy Osbourne, Metallica.
It seems to me that you wanted to say Bieber, and
No.
Please stop.
Maybe Kurt Cobain. Maybe Michael Jackson for pop music, and I don't know, Pink Floyd, of course. For Russian, it's I don't know. Maybe, but if I don't like it, doesn't have it doesn't change anything. He influenced person for some kind of music.
For Russian, it's Vysotsky and Victor Tsoi, maybe.
Yes, I agree.
So, Michael, what about you?
So, it's hard for me to choose one of them. The last what I read, it's like it's a kind of minimalistic music, like soundtracks for some films.
Yes, because they stay in your mind and they're always with you.
No, it's not. It's the last article which I read, so I just say like the first what I remember.
So, Ulvi, what about you?
The most musics which I prefer to listen is pop musics, but the first person who's come to my mind is the Eminem. He's a rapper.
Yes, I thought that no one would mention him, and I decided if no one mentioned, I will mention about him. But you did my work, so.
I also don't know why, but this person inspires me with his so quick reading of the text, or how can I explain it?
So I think he had great impact on music because he was the first white rapper. And
yeah, I also think that.
So, and Alexander, now can you answer?
I'm not meloman. Maybe Liudmyla Zykina. You know her?
Oh my god. I think my grandmother knows who is she.
It's a joke. To tell the truth, I like Vysotsky. Yeah.
I think it's a good choice.
And Kino. What else? And if from foreign singers, I like Metallica. And some else.
I don't like, I just shake in my hand, my head. So is it all?
Yes.
So and it was our last sphere. Actually, there was also painting and filmmaking, but I'm not sure that we should mention about these spheres.
Artist, the famous artist. It's really
psychologist.
No, really, if you want to continue, really, you can just write me spheres and we will discuss it. And it's there is no problem to make one more lesson about it. So it's just your desire, really. If you want, you can write in our chat spheres, and I will read it and we will go on. So. But for today, it's the end of our lessons, so I think that you. So, mm, so I will write it because I have already read art, so good. I think that you could see that our world is full of really influential and famous people, and it's difficult to choose one or three or even four. And our life is different and difficult, and a lot of spheres and a lot of people who are in our life. So, and as for me, it's impossible to stop speaking about them because I think that people who changed our world are really famous and they were speaking and they were discussing, and I think that it was interesting for you because it was interesting for me, really. It's always nice for me when I enjoy doing something, and I really enjoyed discussing, and I like this lesson, and I hope that you also liked it, and I will waiting for you next time. So thank you that you were with me.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Thank you, goodbye.
Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Thank you, goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, goodbye.